everyone, it's Katie from Paradise Falls family. In this video we'll be going into a bit more detail on our day ashore in Ketchikan on our Alaskan cruise on the Disney Wonder in August 2024. And in particular the excursion to see the Lumberjack show that we really enjoyed here. We've already given a summary of our whole cruise in separate vlogs, which you can find in our Alaska playlist, and our day in Ketchikan was the last of 3 shore days in the middle of our cruise. In this video, I'll talk through how we spent our time in Ketchikan, but I'll also give a bit of an overview of the port for those of you who haven't visited yet, mention some of the other things you can do with your time, and along the way give some tips and information that will hopefully help you make the most of your day. So to start off with a bit of background, Ketchikan is the last port on our cruise and it's visited on the way heading back down to Vancouver. Ketchikan is technically a city, although it's smaller than Juneau. It is a stop where you can get off and spend some time in town without spending a fortune still though. However, if you do want to get out and about a bit more, there are loads of great options. The main one that a lot of people seem to do here is the Great Alaskan Lumberjack show, which is right in the city centre by the dock. We decided to book onto this as we thought it would be something fun and different to enjoy, with some free time to then enjoy the city in the afternoon. The ashore times were 11:15 to 6:45 PM, so you have plenty of time in port to explore the area. It also meant a slightly later start to the day, which was welcomed after 2 early starts on the previous shore days. This also means you have a bit of a chance to get up on deck to see the ship travel down into Ketchikan and try and spot some wildlife. The port area itself where the ship docks is right in the main city centre, so it's very easy to come and go from the ship all day if you want. For us, we began with an excursion booked for the very start of the day at 11:15. As I've mentioned, we booked the Great Alaskan Lumberjack show, and this was $171 for the 4 of us, which we felt was pretty reasonable. It was scheduled to last 1 to 1.5 hours, so fit nicely with our plans for the day. There's also an option to do a Disney version of the show for a little bit extra, but I believe this just includes a character meet after the show. The characters are available throughout the cruise, so we didn't see the need to add it on this time. We also had friends who'd paid extra for this option and then no Disney character appeared, so just something to consider when booking this. So after a relaxed morning, some breakfast and some time around the ship, we walked off the ship and straight to the venue for 11:15. The venue's only a couple of minutes walk from the ship and you basically just follow the crowd and join the line. Inside is a small amphitheatre and covered tiered seating around the show area. There's a small snack bar, bathrooms and then a decent souvenir shop that you can pop into after the show. The arena is split into 2, with one side supporting the American team and the other the Canadian team. You're encouraged to shout and cheer on your team, and the atmosphere was brilliant and really added to the show. The show itself pits 2 teams of lumberjacks against each other in various events like cutting and sawing wood, axe throwing and climbing wooden poles. It's really fast paced, entertaining and something different that all 4 of us really enjoyed, and we thoroughly recommend this for the whole family. They do their best to get kids involved, handing out free gifts and things like that to those who shout the loudest, and you can get your picture taken with the lumberjacks afterwards as well if you want. We had a great time, and after picking up a few souvenirs in the shop, we wandered on into town to explore Ketchikan. The centre itself is pretty small, and the main area of interest is Creek Street. This is the area you'll have probably seen in pictures and vlogs, with the historic boardwalk and buildings perched above the creek below. It's by far the most scenic part of the city and of any of the city centres on the cruise, so make sure to stop by here, at least briefly, just to stroll the boardwalk and do some shopping. The water below is full of salmon making their way upstream, and quite a few seals who were chasing them. We got some brilliant pictures and loved watching the seals play and chase the salmon below. We spent quite a bit of time here in the end. At the end of the boardwalk is Dolly's house, which is basically a famous old brothel which you can tour if you fancy. Then the other side of the creek, back towards the town, is Alaska Crepe, a great place to pick up a snack, and they also offer gluten-free crepes too. Over the road is the harbour, where again you can see seals swimming around, and then it was a slow walk back towards the city centre and the ship. The area around here has loads of shops and places to eat, so we did a bit more shopping and then headed back on board for lunch and a relaxing afternoon. Ketchikan is quite a small city with a really small centre, so you probably don't need long ashore without any other excursions. Nevertheless, we really enjoyed it here, with Creek Street and the Lumberjack Show being two highlights of the whole cruise. Outside of the city, there are plenty of other things to do, with Disney offering lots of excursions. Because this is one of the main ports on the cruise, it's also possible to arrange your own excursions and activities. We found quite a few on Viator, who we tend to use for booking these sorts of things, but always keep in mind that the ship won't wait for you if you return late and you're not on a Disney excursion. This shouldn't generally be a problem here when you have so much time ashore, but it's worth keeping in mind, and it's something we always weigh up when deciding what shore activities to do on a cruise. For Ketchikan, we looked at a variety of excursions, but there weren't too many we fancied here. The Lumberjack Show seemed like something different and fun, so we went for this in the end, but there are plenty of other options if this isn't your thing. One big thing we did notice here is that there weren't any whale watching excursions from here, so if you want to do that, then Icy Strait Point and Juneau seem like the best bet. However, there were two brilliant bear viewing excursions on offer. The first is the Alaskan Bear Encounter by Land and Sea. This is a longer excursion where you take a bus and boat out to the Neats Bay Bear Observatory and where you can see bears feeding on salmon in the river. It looked brilliant, but it was a bit long at 5 hours, so we didn't think it would keep the kids' attention. It was also pretty pricey at $1,700 for the four of us, so we decided to rule it out. This was probably a good thing, as it was already fully booked by the time our booking window opened. And on reflection, having done the Spassky River excursion in Icy Strait Point, we definitely recommend this one, which was shorter and cheaper, and appears to be a similar experience in that you're viewing bears down by the river. The Spassky River excursion is also to see bigger brown bears, whereas the Neats Bay excursion looked from the pictures to be black bears. The second excursion available was the Black Bear and Wildlife Exploration. This was a little bit cheaper at $319 per person and a bit shorter at 3.5 hours, but frustratingly was for over 12s only. We were really disappointed with this as it looked perfect, as you visit the Alaska Rainforest Sanctuary and can see the bears safely from an elevated boardwalk, so it felt great for families if only there wasn't the age restriction. Outside of these, the main excursions which we thought looked good were the Misty Fjords National Monument by seaplane, but again that was on the pricey side. There's an adventure cart expedition, various bus tours around the town and area, boat trips, and we heard that crab fishing tours were some of the most popular if that's your kind of thing. A full list of these can be found on the Disney Cruise Line website. As I mentioned, some of these excursions do book up, so make sure to get booked on the one you want before it fills up. These can be booked between 75 and 123 days before sailing, depending on your Castaway Club level. So hopefully that's given a good overview of Ketchikan and how to make the most of your day and some of the things you can get up to. That also now finishes our vlogs on our Alaskan cruise. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, or if there's anything we've not covered in this series, please just drop us a message and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Next week, we'll move on to looking at our road trip through Canada that we did before the cruise, starting in Calgary. So make sure to subscribe to catch that and to support the channel, as it really does make a big difference. In the meantime, if you've got any questions or any other tips, then just let us know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching.